Hi Miss, I'm Jester Alfante. My topic, it's all about format menu. First, standard menu. The standard menu is painted display recited by the service or otherwise communicated to the guest. Example, a list of available options, especially as displayed on the screen. The definition of a menu is a list of available choices. Second, daily menu. Daily menu or a single-use menus changed on a daily basis or may be planned for a special event with a one-time use. Daily menu are often used of fine dining or for food service operations that feature locally sourced product which are available in the market. Third, cycle menu. A cycle menu is a service of menus that repeated over especially period at time, such as 4 weeks. Example, for 4 weeks, cycle menu offer different items each day during a 4 weeks period. Fourth, menu special. Menu special is a menu item that will appear on the menus you are desire and be removed when they are either consumed or disconnected. Example, special given chef has changed to squeeze their creative juice and new dish.
Factors affecting menu pricing. First, local competition. Competition in business decreases an individual company's market share and shrinks the available customer base, especially if demand is limited. A competitive market can also force lower prices to stay competitive, decreasing profit margins for each sale and service. Prices between competitors may not necessarily be the same; one competitor may end up lowering its price. Second, service levels. Restaurants, cafes, canteens, bistros, fast food, and takeaway stores are all comprising establishments of the hospitality industry. This is because each offers a different type and styles of food as well as different levels of service. These establishments are providing a service to customers by preparing, cooking, and serving food. And the best way to build a loyal customer base is to maintain the set restaurant service standards. Customers love it when they know what they will receive and when they walk into the restaurant. You must have a set of service standards which includes consistency in food quality, quantity and taste, and the expected customer service. Standard procedures would also help you to ensure consistency in service, which in turn would help you generate customer loyalty. Next is guest type. Some guests are simply less price sensitive than others. All guests, however, want value for their money. There are many people in the world, in each with peculiarities and patterns of behavior. And of course, since there are people everywhere, that applies to all countries and cities. If you fail to satisfy every type of customer, it is almost inevitable that your restaurant will also gain a bad rep. It is also possible that your employees cannot offer a good quality and personalized service. The fourth one is the product quality. A guest perception of quality is based on a variety factors, as the product itself and those quality influencing vary, so too does the guest perception of quality. Well, most of the customers knows to determine when that certain product has a good and bad quality. Well, the greater quality increases sales, which increase even further with lower price. Sales exert a negative effect on price. On the other hand, Greater quality expands the markup, which expands more with higher prices. Markup has a positive effect on price.
I am Shamay Galing from BSHM 1C. Our topic is all about managing food and beverage pricing. Portion size. Portion size plays a large role in determining menu pricing. It is a relatively misunderstood concept, yet it is probably the second most significant factor, next to sales mix, in overall pricing. The great chefs know that people eat with eyes first. These relate to presenting food that is visually appealing. It is also related to portion size. A burger and fries that fill an 8-inch plate may well lose on an 11-inch plate. Portion size then is a function of both product quantity and presentation. It is no secret why successful cafeteria chains use smaller than average dishes to plate their food. For their guests, the image of price to value come across loud and clear. So, example of the portion size is the nutrition facts label indicate 1 cup cereal for 1 serving, but if you eat 3/4 cup, that is your portion size. So, next is ambience. If people ate only because they were hungry, fewer restaurants will be open today. People eat out for a variety of reasons, some of which have little to do with food. Fun, companionship, time, limitation, adventure, and variety are just a few reasons dinners cite for eating out rather than eating at home. For the food service operator who provide an attractive ambience, menu prices can reflect this. In fact, the operator in such a situation is selling such more than food, and those justly deserve an increased price. In most cases, however, food service operations that count too heavily on ambience alone to carry their business generally start out well, but are not ultimately successful. Example of ambience is the feeling or romance associated with a candlelight dinner, wine, and soft music. Next is meal period. In some cases, dinner expect to pay more for item served in the evening than for the same item served at the lunch period. Sometimes, this is the result of smaller luncheon portion size, but in other cases, the portion size has a service levels may be the same the evening as earlier in the day. You must exercise caution in this area. Guests should clearly understand why a menu item satisfaction. It may not be wise to implement a time-sensitive pricing structure. Meal period means the following period, 7 to 9 a.m. meals period is that period of time, as defined in Article 14.5, during which the employee is scheduled to have a meal, and during which it is expected that no work shall be performed on behalf of the employers. Next is location. Location can be a major factor in determining price. One's needs look no further than America's, many of them amusement parks or sport arenas, to see evidence of this. Food service operators in this location are able to charge premium prices because they have in effect a monopoly on food sold to the visitors. The only two-night dinner on the interstate highway is it a much the same situation. Contrast that with an operator who is one of 10 seafood restaurants on Restaurants Now. It is used to be said of restaurants that success was due to three things: location, location, and location. Location. For example, the Empire State Building is located at 4.7 degrees north latitude, 74 degrees west latitude. Its site at the intersection of 33rd Street and 5th Avenue in New York City, New York. Next is sale mix. Of all the factors mentioned thus far, sales mix most heavily influences the menu pricing decision, just as guest purchase decision will influence total product cost. Recall that sales mix refer to the specific menu item selected by guests. Manager can respond to this situation by employing a concept called price blending. Sale mix, for example, your pop-up restaurant might plan to all 500 sandwiches and 500 burgers for a 50-50 sales mix. That's all for today. Thank you.
Hi Miss, I am Shalanice Holga and my topic is all about assigning menu prices. Assigning menu prices. The method used to assign menu prices as varied as food service managers themselves. In general, however, menu prices have historically been assigned on the basis of the following two concepts. These are product cost percentage and product contribution margin. Product cost percentage. This method of pricing is based on the idea that product cost should be a predetermined percentage of selling service. As was illustrated earlier in this chapter, if you have a menu item that costs $1.50 to produce and your desired cost percentage equals 40%, the following formula can be used to determine what the item's menu should be. Management uses a predetermined food cost percentage to price menu items. It is stating its belief that product cost in relation to selling price is of great importance. Experienced food service managers know that the second method uses a cost factor and multiplier that can be assigned to each desired food cost percentage. This factor, when multiplied by the item's AP cost, will result in a selling price that yields the desired food cost percentage. In any case, the factor is calculated by the following formula. Thus, if you were attempting to price a product to achieve a product cost with a 40%, the computation is. Thus, if we're attempting and price the product to achieve a product cost of 40%, the computation is. This pricing factor of 2.5 when multiplied by any product cost will make a selling price that yields a 40% product price. The formula is as follows. Seen these two methods of arriving as a proposed selling price yields identical results. One formula simply relies on division, whereas the other prices on multiplications. The decision about which formula to use is completely up to you. which either approach the selling price will be determined with a goal achieving a specified product cost percentage for each item. And many settings, such as all-you-can-eat, buffet, and banquet style meals, food service managers must calculate the selling price based upon their plate cost. A plate cost is simply the sum of all product costs included a single meal or plate served to guests. In such settings, prices are determined in exactly the same manner as they are for an individual menu item. To illustrate, assume you manage the food service operation at an exclusive country club. The club is specialist in wedding receptions. Assume a couple holding their receptions as your facility selected a meal from your menu offerings that resulted in your incurring the following plate costs. Contribution margin. Some food service managers prefer an approach of menu pricing that is focused not on product cost percentage but rather on a menu item's contributions margin. Contribution margin is defined as the amount that remains after the product sum of the menu item is subtracted from the item selling price. Contribution margins, then, it is the amount that a menu item contributes to paying for your labor and other expenses and providing a profit. Thus, if an item sells for $3.75, menu price using this philosophy is a matter of combining product cost with predetermined contribution margin. Management's rules here is to determine the desired contribution margins for each menu item, which, using this approach, you are likely to establish different contribution margins for various menu items or groups of items. For example, in a cafeteria where items are priced separately, entries might be priced with a contribution margin of $2.50 each, desserts with a contribution margins of $1.25, and drinks perhaps with contribution margins of $0.75. Those managers who are rely on a contribution margins approach the pricing to do in the belief that the average contribution margin per item is a more important consideration in pricing decisions than is food of percentage. Cost percentage or product contribution margin proponents exist for both of these approaches to menu pricing. Indeed, there are additional methods that have been proposed for menu pricing, but a thorough analysis of this is beyond the scope of a basic introduction to menu pricing theory. Some large food service organizations have established highly complex computer-driven formulas for determining appropriate menu prices for the average food service operator. However, utilizing product cost percentage, contribution margin, or a combination of both would usually suffice with attempting to arrive at appropriate pricing decisions. Although the debate over the best pricing method is likely to continue for some time, you should remember to view pricing as an important process that has its end goal the establishment of a desirable price-value relationship in the mind of your guests. Regardless of whether the pricing and method used is based cost percentage of contribution, the selling price selected must provide for a predetermined operational profit. For this reason, it is important that the menu not be priced so low that no profit is possible, or so high that you will not able to sell a self-efficient number of items that to make a profit. And in the final analysis, it is the market that will eventually determine that what your sales will be of any given item being sensitive.
Hi everyone, let's talk about the special pricing situations. So, what is coupons? Coupons are a popular way to vary menu price. Essentially, there are two types of coupons in use in the hospitality industry. The first type generally allows guests to get a free. So, the next one, we have value pricing. Value pricing refers to the practice of reducing prices on selected menu items and that believes that, as in couponing, total guest counts will increase to the point that total sales revenue also increases. A potential danger, of course, with value pricing is that if guests. So the next one, we have bottled wine. Few areas of menu pricing create more controversy than that of pricing wines by the bottle. The reason why for this may be the incredible variance in cost among different vintages or years of production, as well as the quality of alternative wine offerings. If your food service operation will sell wine by the bottle, it is likely that you will have some wine products that appeal to value-oriented guests and other higher-priced wines that are preferred by guests seeking these superior wines. So, for example, the another factor that influences wine cost is that many wines sold by the bottle in restaurants are also available in supermarket and liquor stores. As a result, guests have a fear. So the next one we have beverages at receptions and parties. Pricing